mindfulness is not a new practice, but it is something that's really coming to the forefront while a lot of us deal with stress, especially those of us in the autism community. It's been documented many times now that folks in the autism community, whether you're on the spectrum or you're a caretaker for somebody who's on the spectrum, your level of stress tends to be significantly higher than Joe average. And let's face it, Joe average is fairly stressed, right? So one of the things that we know that works, that's inexpensive or free, and that's been very successful at creating a reduction in stress is the practice of being mindful. And that's a whole host of different things, including meditation. But it's a way of looking at each moment in time and being more in the moment and present in the moment. So today I want to talk a little bit about a film that I love. It's called About Time. And it is about a young man who discovers that there's a family trait in the men in his family that they can travel back in time. So just by concentrating and going into like a closet, they can concentrate and go back to something that happened in time to them, and they can do do-overs. And I don't want to spoil the movie for anyone, but there's a moment in time in the movie where it's discussed about how best to use this talent. And one of the things that he shows is that a really amazing thing to do is to go through your day like you would any other day. And then at the end of the day, to go back through the day and appreciate, knowing that everything is going to be okay without all of the worry of how was that going to turn out, or was this going to happen, or was that going to happen, and to go back without the worry and appreciate all the little things in life. And if you think about that, that's really what mindfulness is. One of the guests that we're going to have on the show next week posted on their site this morning and said, "What's the biggest challenge you face today?" And I responded and said, being present and finding the joy in every single moment instead of being caught up in the, just the whirlwind of surviving it and trying to get stuff done, right? Because that's the treadmill that a lot of us are on. And I really want to encourage, especially the autism parents watching, that I know, because I have been there and done this with you, how there's just it's overwhelming, right? And it sits on your chest how much stuff you have to do. And the truth is that when we start to cycle and think about everything that we have to do, we don't get as much done. It's just a fact, right? Whereas sometimes I call it the wind tunnel, where you're just in this space and stuff gets done. And you go, why? Why did stuff get done? Because your mind was in the right state. And you can only be in the right state if you're present. So it starts with that. And I think rather than if you find yourself cycling and thinking about everything you got to get done, or worrying, saying, what's going to happen, what's going to do with this, if you take just a moment to be mindful about what's happening right now, just for a minute. And it's so simple to go, okay, well, the lights are doing this, the air conditioning is doing this, I can hear the elevator, it centers you. And then, because I know you got stuff you got to get done, if you ask yourself, if I just get one thing done today, what would it be? If there was just one thing that needs to get done today, and focus on that, I think what you'll find is that thing gets done and a bunch of other things get done, but they get done with joy instead of this feeling of, it's a grind. I just got to survive. I just got to trudge, right? Man, I do that all the time. And I was honestly thinking about my mother this morning, and my mom was somebody who was always like, what's going to be fun today? What is going to be fun today? And if you approach life in that way, something fun happens. It just does. It's that positive assumptive question. So if we can have that opportunity to be in the present today, I know you still have stuff to get done, but give yourself the task of getting one thing done. You know, if all you do is get one thing done today, it's amazing. If you do that every day for 30 days, at the end of 30 days, you got a lot done. And it's kind of crazy how much gets done if you do that. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a breath. Take 3 breaths, 3 deep breaths. Look around, notice what's happening right here, right now. Feel the feet, feel your feet on the ground, feel the chair underneath you. Feel that air going into your lungs. Where is the light coming from? Where are the sounds? What can you feel on your skin? Just be mindful for a minute and then ask, what's one thing I can do? I think you'll find the day goes better. Let me know though. Don't just take my word for it. Let me know.